So, The Sims 4 is broken after the recent patch. Of course, we all saw this coming, but I think this time it's really bad for a lot of players, myself included. A lot of times I will not experience that many bugs, even when we just get a new patch, and I am very lucky to be able to say that. I will have issues like, for example, the raining indoors, which is finally fixed, but then they fix that and we get a whole bunch of other new bugs. But yeah, I really usually don't get a bunch of things. Maybe like 1 or 2 things will be happening in my game, and sometimes nothing at all. This time around though, I have already been experiencing multiple things. So we're going to talk about those things today, and then we're also going to be talking about other issues that people have been having that I have not yet experienced, but I also haven't done the things to see if they're happening. So first thing being is can't take pregnancy tests. Everyone's been talking about this, and so I believe it's an issue in everyone's game. If you were able to take a pregnancy test, let me know, because to my knowledge, this is happening for everyone. When you try for a baby, you're not able to take a pregnancy test afterwards. You can still get pregnant in your game, all that, but you're not going to be able to take a pregnancy test, so every pregnancy right now is pretty much a surprise. Super weird. I have no idea why this would randomly happen. I actually don't think this has ever happened, and I hope that's something they fix very quickly, because that interferes with a lot of things, storytelling, but also just normal gameplay. It's just, that's an annoying bug to have. Next thing is something I experienced right away as soon as I updated my game, and that's the inability to throw out trash, but not even just trash. I can't put plates in the sink, in the trash. I can't drag laundry into the washing machine. It was working and then it stopped. But as far as throwing away like dirty dishes, any sort of food, throwing away diapers in the garbage can, you can't do it. You can't drag and drop. And this is another one where, as far as I'm aware, this is happening to everyone. But I am curious if anyone is able to drag and drop. Apparently it has to do with some new changes to like the inventory, which caused this problem to happen. But that is probably the most inconvenient thing to me out of everything. The amount of times I drag and drop, I need to be able to do that. Like, my Sims have to physically go and pick up every single plate, every single diaper, every single bottle. And as a family gameplay type of person, I do not have time for that. My Sim families be making messes, and yeah, that needs to be fixed ASAP, because I was like, what is even going on? So next up is dancing gnomes. This is another one that seems to be happening in a lot of people's games. The gnomes will just be randomly dancing as if they're alive, but they will not be alive, because now you can bring the gnomes to life, but this is just happening like as soon as you place down a gnome, even from build mode, they're just dancing about. That one, you know, it's not like the biggest annoyance. Well, I guess it could be kind of annoying, but it's not gonna like interfere with your day-to-day gameplay, but it is still something that I don't think it should be happening, of course. Next, we have issues with the roofs. So people have been experiencing, including myself, this issue where sometimes when you build a room, there's no roof, but then it says there is, and you have to like remove it and then add it again, and then it'll be there. But then sometimes when you build a room, the roof will spawn in. It just kind of depends. It's like sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. I'm actually curious if this is happening on console. So next is an issue with businesses and hobbies. So suddenly we cannot place down the whiteboard. It just constantly disappears. You go and place it down and there's like an error and it just vanishes. So I don't know what's up with that. I have no idea what would cause that to break for this recent update. Really odd, but there's a lot of random things that happen with updates that I just like really don't understand, and I don't really get why things like not being able to take a pregnancy test and stuff like that. I don't know why these things aren't tested ahead of time. I know this is a big game and there's so many different interactions, but I don't know. And like being able to drag and drop things in the trash and the sink and all that, that's such a, you know, common thing that people do every day when they're playing. And the fact that they launch an update with that bug in there, I'm just like, okay, they definitely, there's no way that they play tested. So along with the no roofs thing, roofs are also kind of broken in another sense. I don't know the extent of it, but what I do know is you can't place plants near a roof. Even using the move objects cheat, it just like doesn't let you. And that interferes a lot with landscaping, and especially if you're building these fairy homes and you have like roofing where it's like on the ground, that's just gonna like destroy your whole build. So yeah, that's another thing where you would think that they would know that's happening before they drop the update. And lastly, adult, teens, and children keep spawning back from work and school. Basically, when you like load back into your lot, if you're like reloading into a lot, they just come home from work and school. It's like prompting them to come home. And that's another big issue. It kind of just like interferes with your whole gameplay, and how annoying is that? Oh, I almost forgot one. Something else that's been happening to people is no promotions, but they're getting raises instead. This is working for some people, and then for others, it's not working. So I'm curious, let me know down below. People are having an issue where they cannot choose a career path, or I guess you can choose a career path, but then after that, there's no more promotions. You just start gaining a raise. Let me know down below if that's happening to you. I don't know how common that one is, but the other ones are happening to a lot of players, especially the no pregnancy test and the no being able to drag and drop, food, dishes, all that. Now, I also want to note, these issues are happening to people with no mods in CC. I've seen people say this is happening to them with console. And for example, with me, the whole drag and drop thing with food, dishes, bottles, diapers, it was happening to me right off the bat when I still even have my mods disabled. So that was really frustrating. I think that's definitely by far the biggest annoyance for me. All of these glitches suck, but the drag and drop thing, that is the worst by far. That is so annoying. So you guys, I want to know what bugs and glitches you're having. Comment down below. Hopefully these are fixed quickly, especially the ones that are interfering with gameplay the most and also interfering with building the most, because of course, one of the main things a lot of people love to do in The Sims is build. There's people who don't even play. But yeah, I feel like things that are just messing with the casual gameplay, you know, things people do every day when they log into their game, and then things that are interfering with build mode, those are just unacceptable to be happening with new updates. But of course, this happens every time. I haven't had many issues with Enchanted by Nature itself. There is certain things that I am just like, wait, is that a bug or is that just what they did? Because there's a few things with the pack where the animations are like literally 0.2 seconds, I swear. Like, it's so fast, and I'm just like, is it seriously supposed to be like that? But I think it is, and I don't know how I feel about that. I would much rather that to be a bug, honestly, because I feel like it's so underwhelming to see those quick animations. But I will say there's also a lot of great animations with the new pack. But yeah, it seems like the patch broke a lot more than the pack itself, which is usually how it goes. But then I feel like usually packs cause a whole bunch of broken things as well, and that doesn't seem to be the case this time, but I could be entirely wrong. For some people it could be a disaster. As always, make sure that you take out your mods in CC just to be sure that any issues you're having are not related to that. The ones I talked about today seem to be happening to people no matter what, even if they're on console. However, if there's other issues you're having that I have not mentioned today, definitely be sure to drag out your mods folder just so that you're positive that it's not being caused by mods. It is more rare for issues like bugs and glitches to be happening from CC, but that does also happen. So sometimes people overlook, you know, the fact that CC might be causing a problem. So yeah, what I would suggest is just literally drag your whole mods folder out and put it on your desktop, and then load up your game and test things out, and you can kind of figure things out from there. But yeah, let's not forget how many updates The Sims launches that are broken and ruining our games, even for console players that have no access to CC. I feel like that is the biggest telltale sign. A lot of people will try to say, oh, it's your mods in CC, but then console players will be like, no, this is happening to me too. And then it's just kind of proof that it's an issue with the actual game. So you guys, with that, I'm going to wrap this up here. Depending on your guys' comments, I may have another discussion video soon. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed, even though this is not great news. I don't know if The Sims has addressed anything about this yet, so we'll have to see. They are faster now with releasing fixes, but I don't know how quick they'll be this time around. Of course, the pack doesn't launch until the 10th. So they may want to wait till after that in case more bugs and glitches arrive after the pack launches, which I'm sure that's going to be the case. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest.